The start of a comfortable life begins with steel. With fire and iron, I can literally wreak my will on the earth.
We are trying to shape it to our will and make it behave how we want. The people who do this are a very similar character.
Right off the bat, the blacksmith has to be a scholar.
Very stubborn.
There's nothing I can do to relax except forge. It's literally like medicine for me.
We tend to match our medium.
There's no other medium like steel. It can be soft enough that I can bend it. It can be super brittle hard like glass.
It's very tough. It's very unrelenting.
And the fact that I can control what happens to it, that's poetic.
As far as tools that you need is a forge, a hammer, anvil, and you need tongs.
The mind is the most important tool. Our mind frees us from the animal world and allows us to manipulate the environment around us. And it's fantastic that I can see something in my mind and manifest it in one of the most enduring materials in the universe.
Let the big dogs play with the big toys.
Woo!
Got a jumper.
You get hurt doing this whenever you lose respect for it. Whenever it just becomes day-to-day hum-hum, just playing with 2,000 degree steel, that's all. That's when Mother Nature's gonna just kick your ass.
I'm just looking to see where his brain's going.
This is gonna pop out.
There's infinite techniques out there. No matter how good I ever get to my life, I'll never call myself a master.
It wasn't until my 13th birthday that my mother got me my first anvil.
My grandfather thought I was too young to forge, so I went out in the woods and I dug a pit and I lined it with rocks and I made a fire.
Used a barbecue grill with a bag of charcoal and a hairdryer.
And I got copper tubing and I would blow into fires to get it hot enough.
It was quite stupid.
If I would have inhaled through that pipe instead of exhaled, I would have breathed in 2,000 degree gas. It would have cooked my lungs and killed me right there in the middle of the woods.
So now we need to put flux on there. All it is powdered glass, and that glass won't allow oxygen to get in there and mank up our weld. See how glassy and shiny it is? I can like pull these off in long hairs of glass.
Ryan and I have been friends for about 2 years.
If we combine our knowledge and an understanding of the environment that we're in, there's no telling what we can do.
That's where patience is key. If we hold it in this fire too long, it'll just melt.
With a craft like this, it becomes apparent if you have skill for it.
You know what I think about master smiths? Masters of bullshit.
You need hand-eye coordination. You have to have tenacity.
Now I make it super hot and weld that shit together.
I'm gonna live forever through my art. The stuff I make is so awesome, no one's going to, oh, I found the sword, I'll just throw it in the garbage. It's gonna be passed on, it's gonna be given to someone else.
Even though you might go back later and think that's the ugliest thing in the world, you still remember that feeling of how wonderful it was to finish.
Whenever we forge weld, we're not using electricity like stick welding, and there's no filler. We're actually taking two pieces of steel, and as we lay them on top of one another and tap them, we form a covalent bond, and that's the strongest chemical bond that there is. So we're playing with this steel on an atomic level.
Whenever I find a piece of steel that has been orphaned, left out in the woods to rot,
we're using iron that I sourced along a railroad bed.
And I can rejuvenate it, and I can breathe life into it, but nature can't do that. Maybe nature made people so that she could have iron. I'm not advocating that everybody live a lifestyle like me, but it's soulically satisfying to literally transform something with just the force of your arm.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me ask you something.